Have you ever felt like your English is, well, grammatically perfect, but it just sounds a little off, a bit flat? If you've been searching for that missing piece, you've come to the right place.
Yeah, if that question hits home, you are definitely not alone. It's one of the biggest hurdles for learners. Welcome to The Explainer by IELTS Guide Phil on YouTube. Today we're going to unlock one of the biggest secrets to sounding truly fluent and confident.
All right, let's get right into the why, because it's not just about the words you choose, it's all about how you deliver them. IELTS Guide Phil always emphasizes that the natural rhythm of your speech is a massive but often forgotten skill that IELTS examiners are listening really closely for.
So, how does getting this right actually help you? Well, it's huge. First off, it gives you clarity. The examiner can follow your thoughts without any effort. It also massively boosts your fluency, making you sound so much more smooth and natural. And the big one, it's a direct band boost for your pronunciation score, and it helps you dodge those awkward misunderstandings.
And we are not talking about a small boost here. Think about this. According to IELTS Guide Phil, pronunciation, and that includes the rhythm and stress we're talking about right now, makes up a full 1/4 of your entire IELTS speaking score, 25%. So yeah, getting this right isn't just nice, it's absolutely essential for a top score.
Okay, so let's break this down. The first piece of the puzzle is something called sentence stress. And no, it's not about being stressed out before the exam. It's all about knowing which words to punch to really get your meaning across.
This is basically the heartbeat of English. It's a simple idea. We put the power on the important content words, the ones that carry the real meaning, and we kind of glide right over the little grammar words that just connect everything. This up and down, strong and weak rhythm is what makes English sound, well, like English.
So what are we talking about here? On one side, you've got your heavy hitters, your content words. These are things like nouns, main verbs, adjectives. They do all the heavy lifting in the sentence. You stress them. On the other side are the little grammar words, articles, prepositions. They're like the glue. They're important, but you say them quickly, softly, unstressed. Okay, listen to this sentence, and I'm going to really exaggerate it. I want to go to the market. Can you hear that rhythm? Da-dum, 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 da-dum. The important words, want, go, market, they pop. The other little words just get us there. That right there is sentence stress in action.
So that's which words get the stress. The next question is, how do we organize them? And that brings us to the second key idea, thought groups. This is all about breaking your speech into bite-sized chunks so your listener can easily keep up.
IELTS Guide Phil calls these the building blocks of your speech, and I think that's the perfect way to describe them. See, instead of one long, breathless rush of words, you deliver your ideas in these neat little packages with tiny little pauses in between. It gives the examiner's brain a chance to catch up and really process what you're saying.
Okay, just listen to how this sounds. When I was a child, I used to visit my grandparents every summer. See those little pauses where the slashes are? It just makes the whole thing so much clearer, so much easier to follow, right?
And now, this is where the real magic happens. This is where you unlock true fluency. It's when you combine these two ideas, when you put the sentence stress inside of each thought group.
Let's put it all together. Listen to this. The first time I went abroad, I was nervous but excited. You hear that? Each chunk has its own little rhythm. The pauses give it structure, and the stress inside gives it meaning and life. This is what sounding natural is all about. Of course, it's also pretty easy to fall into some common traps with this, so IELTS Guide Phil points out a few key mistakes that candidates make all the time. Let's make sure you're not one of them.
First, stressing every single word equally. You end up sounding like a robot. Then, there's not pausing at all. Your ideas just become one big, confusing mess. A really tricky one is stressing the wrong word, which can completely change your meaning. And finally, that rising tone at the end of a statement, it just makes you sound unsure of yourself.
Okay, so enough about the mistakes. Let's talk about how to get it right. The great news is this is a skill, and like any skill, you can build it with a super simple and focused method.
IELTS Guide Phil really boils it all down to this easy two-step process. Step 1, chunk. You look at a sentence and just find the natural breaks. Step 2, stress. Inside each of those chunks, you find the heavy hitters, the content words, and give them a little punch. That's it. Chunk, then stress.
All right, let's try one together, right now. Here's a typical IELTS kind of sentence. First, we just do step 1, chunk it up. The natural places to breathe are after believe, improved, and communicate. Easy. Now we have 4 manageable little thought groups.
And now for step 2, we add the stress. We add the music. Listen, I believe that technology has greatly improved the way we communicate with each other. Go on, try saying that out loud. You can feel that rhythm, right? That is the sound of fluency.
And this quote from IELTS Guide Phil just says it all, doesn't it? It's not enough to have great ideas and great vocabulary. You have to deliver them with the clarity and the confidence they deserve. The how is every bit as important as the what.
So, if you're ready to dive deeper and keep practicing, there's plenty more. You can read the full original blog post on this topic over at IELTSGuidePhil.com. Of course, watch more of these explainers right here on the channel. And for more support, join the amazing Facebook community. All of those links are right there for you in the description below.
And hey, if you're serious about taking your speaking to the next level and want that expert one-on-one feedback, IELTS Guide Phil does offer an online writing and speaking coaching service. If that sounds like something you're interested in, just drop a comment below to find out more. Thanks so much for watching.